My old ass is in theaters this weekend, and I gotta say, I dug this movie. This is a recommendation from me. It is an independent romantic comedy. It was written and directed by Megan Park, and it stars Maisie Stella, Aubrey Plaza, and Percy Hines White. They did a fantastic job. I am so sad that many people didn't see this film. It didn't make any money over the weekend, but I think this is really going to blow up when it is available digitally or when it's streaming, because this is a good movie and it is worth your time. If it is playing in a theater near you, please see it. So it's centered around a young woman during the summer who is preparing to go to college, and she is really enjoying herself on the lake. Her parents are farmers, and so she helps out around the farm and hangs out with her friends and her love interests. She's figuring things out. She's unsure if she is bisexual, pansexual, but she likes this young woman that she has been having a fling with, and she falls in love with this guy that her older self tells her not to get involved with, and his name is Chad, played by Percy. So she spends a lot of her time trying to avoid Chad. Now, let me back up some. She has this trip with her friends. They take mushrooms, and she has like this trip and meets her older self, her 39-year-old self. And her 39-year-old self wants to prepare her for the future and hopes to keep her from making the mistakes that shape her life. And so one of the big ones is when you meet Chad, run, don't get involved. And so we buy into it as the audience, as the viewer, you'll buy into, yeah, we got to stay away from Chad. But when we meet him, we also fall in love with him. He is so charming. He is very respectful and considerate and conscious of her feelings. And so she is trying to stay away from him, but we're rooting for them to be together because he shows us a side that is deserving of her affection. And I love that we, the audience, the viewer, are also involved in this relationship. But the comedy is her trying to, stay away and not fall for him. But because he is so charming, she does. And again, so do we. And this is during the time when her older self is too busy and so doesn't come back to explain why she should stay away from Chad, which really helps the arc of the story. And she returns Aubrey Plaza's character just when we've fallen in love with him and it's too unavoidable. And she explains why she wished that she didn't pursue him in this way. I won't spoil it because it helps not knowing why, but it's such a charming story. It's in many ways like The Time Traveler's Wife, but without the problematic relationship build. Because with The Time Traveler's Wife, we have to buy in to what looks like grooming, right? And here, that's not this. And so it works a lot better here because they are adults and it is more of a coming of age story for our protagonist. You will live for this film because it is so good. And how the trippiness of the mushrooms work in her manifesting her older self and them, communicating about life is so believable in a way, even though there's some out of the bottle magic to get you to buy into it. I feel like how they do it is creative and believable. And because this is a coming of age story, our main character, played by Macy, she plays Elliot, she is maturing and coming into her own why she should love who she wants to love. And so it's so satisfying in the ending when we realize that it's okay to make mistakes, and those mistakes that we make in our youth really do shape us in our adult lives. And so the choice is, do we not want to make the mistakes? Are the mistakes unavoidable? Do we not want to make them, and live our lives to the fullest with meaning? Or do we want to curate what we believe is a perfect life and live in regret? I love that as a theme and a thesis. This is a good movie. This is a beautiful story, and Maisie just does an amazing job. She's very charismatic and fun and bubbly, and she does a deep dive, and it's just a picture. I'm pretty sure many of us in our adult lives wonder what our lives would have looked like had we changed maybe something small or insignificant, or if we changed some of the big things, would we still be here? I love that again as a theme. This is a good movie. Now, it's probably not playing in a theater near you. Since a lot of people didn't see it this weekend, they're probably going to scale back some theaters, especially with more movies coming out this coming weekend. And so you probably won't find it. But the moment you see it streaming, trust me when I tell you, you're going to want to see this movie. It is a good time. It's a beautiful romantic comedy. My Old Ass is in theaters now. See it on the biggest screen you can find as soon as you can.